Yo? For real? They didn't even release any statement yet? This is like a crisis already. We gotta do something about it. Well, in today's presentation, we'll be proposing a strategic crisis management plan for TechMaju in order to effectively respond and recover from the recent cybersecurity breach that has been affecting its flagship platform known as SmartCitizen. Alright everyone, let's talk about TechMaju. TechMaju is actually a Malaysian tech company powered by artificial intelligence, AI tech solutions. And basically, they're one of their main products actually known as SmartCitizen. And these SmartCitizen is actually widely used across Southeast Asia, especially by governments and private sectors for managing citizen data, public services, and urban planning. Now, coming back to the crisis overview on what happened actually, the TechMaju's AI-driven data analytics module suffered a sophisticated cyber attack. This actually led to the possible leak of millions of sensitive personal records across Southeast Asia. And this breach could actually expose to national ID numbers, home addresses, phone numbers, financial data, and employment histories. And once the news broke to the media actually, it kind of triggers the public outrage, regulatory scrutiny, and financial risk, which could severely damaging the TechMaju's reputation. And in response to that, regulators demanded immediate disclosure and public sector temporarily suspended the use of SmartCitizen platform. It all begins on the 1st of June 2025, where the security team at TechMaju noticed unusual activity in the data access logs, which actually led them to discover that someone had accessed sensitive information without permission. On 2nd of June 2025, an internal investigation confirmed that the data breach, and the senior management was immediately informed regarding this matter. This issue continues where the news of the breach data spread into the mainstream and social media especially, sparking public concern and widespread criticism on TechMaju itself, especially on their platform of SmartCitizen. And last but not least, on the 5th of June 2025, regulators called for immediate disclosure, full transparency and accountability from TechMaju themselves. And in response to the breach, the public sector temporarily suspended the use of SmartCitizen platform until a thorough investigation and proper remediation are completed. So from this matter, it can be seen that the actions that were taken by TechMaju was quite late and causing the public to concern much, especially the affected user on their flagship platform, SmartCitizen. Before we know how to respond to this crisis, there are some inquiries that need to be addressed in order for us to have full clarity. And now, these are the key questions we must answer. Has a security breach actually occurred, or was it just a rumor? Was there a confirmed data leak? If confirmed, how severe was the leak? Why was there a delay in notifying the public? What actions are being taken right now? How will TechMaju respond to the government suspension? Finally, when can this issue be resolved?
Communication strategy for TechMaju is not only to address the current crisis, but also to rebuild trust, maintain transparency, and reinforce TechMaju's position as AI innovator.
For TechMaju to effectively navigate this crisis, we have developed a strategic crisis communication plan grounded in Sturges' 3 orders of message content during crisis communication. This framework ensures that crisis messaging follows a logical, structured, and understandable order, helping stakeholders process information effectively and reducing confusion. We have identified 3 main categories of key messages: instructing information, adjusting information, and reputation management. Instructing information addresses what actions users must take and what immediate steps have been taken. Adjusting information provides emotional reassurance to affected stakeholders, and reputation management focuses on restoring public trust and strengthening TechMaju's credibility post-crisis. Under instructing information, we will first confirm that unauthorized access was detected on June 1st and that immediate actions were taken, such as isolating compromised domains and reinforcing cybersecurity. We also clarify that, to date, no confirmed data leak has occurred and the public is advised to avoid speculation while investigations continue. Moving to adjusting information, TechMaju will offer a formal apology to all affected parties and explain the reason for the delay in public disclosure, which was to verify all details before releasing any information to avoid unnecessary panic. Affected users will be given support through dedicated channels such as live chat, hotline, and email assistance. Lastly, for reputation management, TechMaju will accept full responsibility, express gratitude to stakeholders, and emphasize that the company, while a victim of the attack, is taking full control of the situation. We will also position TechMaju as a future leader in responsible AI, committing to long-term ethical governance and enhanced data protection. All these key messages are being created to effectively cater our main goal, which are to acknowledge and address public concern, minimizing damage and content misinformation, as well as reassuring stakeholders and rebuild public trust. Also guiding our key messages is the necessity where considering TechMaju as facing accidental victim of the cyber attack, they should also adopt rebuilding posture and bolstering posture in the message delivered. Our response plan is structured across 3 key timelines: the first 24 hours, the first week, and the first month. On June 5th, within the first 24 hours, the CEO will conduct a press conference to officially acknowledge the breach, explain immediate containment steps, and reassure the public. On day 2, the company will release initial findings and begin engaging directly with regulatory bodies such as MCMC and the Ministry of Digital. Active monitoring of public sentiment will begin to contain misinformation. A second press conference will be held to communicate ongoing security measures. From day 3 to day 4, we will provide more detailed updates and reaffirm our commitment to cybersecurity and ethical AI. From day 5 through day 7, we'll focus on rebuilding public confidence, publishing a clear recovery roadmap, and outlining corrective actions. By the end of the first month, we plan to release final investigation results, implement long-term cybersecurity upgrades, and launch public trust initiatives such as awareness campaigns and stakeholder feedback mechanisms. Who will communicate during crisis? Communication during a crisis must be clear, credible, and consistent. Leading the crisis response team will be the CEO of TechMaju, who will serve as the primary spokesperson. The CEO is responsible for delivering all public statements, overseeing stakeholder engagement, and managing reputational recovery efforts. Assisting the CEO is the Chief Technology Officer, who will act as the Deputy CRT lead. The CTO will handle technical communications, explain the nature of the breach, and coordinate with cybersecurity professionals and government agencies. This clear delegation of responsibilities ensures that both corporate leadership and technical clarity are reflected in our external messaging during the crisis. Supporting the CEO and CTO are 3 vital teams. The public relations team is responsible for drafting all official statements, training spokespersons, and ensuring message consistency across all channels. They will also manage the company's image and direct engagement with the media. The legal team ensures that all communications comply with regulations such as the PDPA and GDPR-like laws. They will handle formal disclosures, advise on liability, and ensure legal clarity throughout the crisis. Lastly, the media and social media team will manage the distribution of accurate information across digital platforms, engage with the public in real time, monitor online sentiment, and actively prevent the spread of misinformation. Together, these roles ensure a unified, effective response from all fronts. The press release will serve as the company's official public statement. It will confirm that a cybersecurity breach occurred, that it involved the SmartCitizen platform, and that immediate containment measures were taken upon detection. The statement explains that although unauthorized access was confirmed, there is no evidence of a data leak at this time. It also acknowledges the delay in public disclosure, which was a deliberate decision to prevent misinformation and unnecessary alarm. The release outlines ongoing cooperation with regulatory authorities and emphasizes TechMaju's commitment to transparency, ethical AI governance, and secure service recovery. Contact information for affected users will be provided, along with a dedicated crisis webpage for real-time updates. This press release demonstrates accountability, restores confidence, and sets the tone for ongoing communication moving forward.
In a crisis, clarity, consistency, and credibility is vital. TechMaju will use targeted communication channels for different audience. To begin with, TechMaju should use official public statements such as press releases, press conferences, and updates hosted on TechMaju and SmartCitizen platforms led by the CEO to deliver authoritative and consistent information. These channels would serve as a centralized reference point for both the public and media, helping to manage narratives and dispel confusion. On social media platforms like Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok, TechMaju should engage actively with the public by providing real-time updates, addressing concerns, and correcting misinformation. This will help maintain public trust while also raising awareness among those who are not directly affected. For direct outreach, TechMaju should consider direct user engagement methods such as push alerts, emails, a dedicated hotline, and live chat support. These tools would allow affected users to receive immediate security notifications, guidance, and assistance, reinforcing the company's responsiveness and care. Internally, TechMaju should utilize the employee intranet and circulars to keep staff informed about the latest developments. This will help ensure internal alignment, reduce uncertainty, and prepare employees to respond confidently to inquiries from customers, media, or other stakeholders. In terms of external stakeholder management, TechMaju should organize stakeholder meetings with corporate clients, regulators, and investors. These sessions could serve to communicate investigation updates, share mitigation plans, and reinforce the company's commitment to compliance and resolution. Lastly, TechMaju should strengthen its public reputation through community engagement activities such as CSR programs, public webinars, and tech conferences. These initiatives will demonstrate the company's ongoing commitment to ethical innovation and responsible AI practices, helping to restore public confidence in the long run. During a crisis, not all stakeholders are impacted in the same way, so it is essential to communicate differently with victims and non-victims to ensure clarity, relevance, and trust. For the victim group, this can be broken down into customers and employees. Customers typically have concerns about data privacy breaches, financial security, and identity theft. So to address this, TechMaju might consider issuing direct notifications via email and SMS, creating a dedicated web page with frequently asked questions, and providing live support channels such as hotline and chat services for real-time assistance. Employees, on the other hand, may be more concerned about job stability and the company's public image. So TechMaju could keep them informed and reassured through internal memos, regular intranet updates, and company-wide town halls. Having an accessible HR support system would also help address individual concerns while reinforcing employee confidence in the company's response. For the non-victim audience, the focus shifts toward transparency, media responsibility, and public confidence. With the media, TechMaju may benefit from holding CEO-led press briefings and providing verified information through interviews, Q&A sessions, and consistent press materials such as fact sheets. These efforts could help dispel misinformation and ensure a unified narrative. When it comes to the government and regulatory bodies, it is recommended that TechMaju provide formal disclosures on the breach impact through regulatory filings, while also participating in closed-door discussions to collaborate on cybersecurity improvements and policy alignment. Lastly, the general public will benefit from clear social media updates that promote cybersecurity awareness, along with public apologies and reputation recovery announcements that show TechMaju's accountability and commitment to the corrective action.
Beyond immediate response, TechMaju should really focus on how are the ways to rebuild the public trust and strengthening the data protection, especially among the citizen that has been affected.
Now, when we're talking about how trust can be rebuilt, especially for this organization, there are several ways that could be done. One of it is through public apology and full transparency. This should happen where apologize directly to those impacted and take full responsibility for what has happened, and provide clear explanations to reduce speculation and uncertainty, especially for these affected users. Most importantly, should show accountability, sharing openly what actions have been taken and why. Transparency is essential because honesty builds trust. The second one is actually through engaging with policymakers and credible cybersecurity agency. This is because they need to work closely with trusted bodies like MCMC, Cybersecurity Malaysia, and the Ministry of Digital. Collaborating with these agencies not only strengthens the response but also reassures the public that credible and secure measures are in place. Through these cooperation helps to restore faith in their systems and intentions. The third one is actually through stakeholder engagement and long-term commitment. This is actually through supporting affected stakeholders both emotionally and practically. Feedback channels should be established so concerns can be heard and acted upon. By investing in safety innovation and sustainability can help in shifting those narratives from a crisis to a story of positive transformation.
The fourth one is actually through accountability and corrective steps. This is actually to restore trust, where transparent corrective steps should be taken, including audits, policy reforms, and full cooperation with regulators, auditors, and independent reviewers, where this organization actually can ensure compliance with relevant government data governance requirements while demonstrating a strong commitment to lawful, ethical, and effective recovery. Well, the fifth one we're talking about is strengthening data protection policies. This is where security measures are being should be enforced to safeguard data integrity. This includes end-to-end encryption, multi-factor authentication, and a zero-trust architecture. AI technologies are actively deployed to monitor threats in real time, should be supported by specialized cybersecurity teams that are equipped for rapid response and data-driven decision-making. And the sixth one is actually through CSR Digital Safety for All campaign, where this initiative should be done nationwide by launching to promote digital awareness and data privacy. And this campaign includes free digital hygiene workshops tailored for youth, SMEs, and the more broader community. We're aiming to empower citizens with a more practical knowledge about online safety and responsible digital behavior. And last but not least, actually through AI ethics and governance framework. Where we can see here is that
AI Ethics Advisory Board should be established by compromising experts from academia, civil society, and tech. And this particular board should be responsible for guiding ethical AI implementation and publishing annual AI ethics reports. Through this, it shows and ensures accountability, fairness, and transparency in all AI-driven systems and decision-making process.
Moving on, now let's talk about post-crisis media engagement and monitoring. These cover some features, such as the first one was talking about public sentiment analysis. To understand public reaction, sentiment analysis tools like Brandwatch, Hootsuite, and TalkWalker are used to track tone and emotion in online conversations, media headlines, and user comments. This provides valuable insight into how the crisis and recovery efforts are perceived in real time. The second one is about media coverage tracking. Media coverage is closely monitored across print, television, and digital platforms. This includes measuring volume, reach, and sentiment, whether it could be positive, neutral, or negative, to evaluate how the organization is being portrayed and to adjust communication strategies accordingly. Last but not least, on stakeholder feedback. Direct feedback is gathered from stakeholders via online surveys, emails, check-ins, and public forums. This emphasizes a place on trust, satisfaction, and stakeholder perception of the crisis response, where it ensures their concerns and expectations are addressed during the recovery.
To check the effectiveness of our crisis management plan, the monitoring and evaluation of our strategy must be done continuously. To begin with, public sentiment and media coverage can be tracked using social media listening tools to monitor public mood, misinformation trends, and engagement levels. In addition, media analytics could be used to assess how news outlets are portraying the issues, tracking tone, coverage volume, and narrative shifts. To gain deeper insights, TechMaju might also consider AI-powered sentiment analysis to evaluate public reactions across platforms at scale. In terms of stakeholder feedbacks and trust metrics, conducting regular surveys and polls would allow TechMaju to collect input directly from affected customers, employees, and investors. Structured focus groups and interviews could provide more qualitative feedback. It will also be beneficial for TechMaju to carry out regulatory compliance audits to ensure ongoing adherence to the data protection laws like PDPA, GDPR, and cybersecurity standards. Lastly, to gauge crisis response efficiency, TechMaju could implement response time tracking to measure how quickly corrective actions and communications are deployed. Regular accuracy and consistency checks would help ensure that messaging remains aligned across PR, legal, and media teams. Internally, evaluating this effectiveness of staff communication can also help determine if employees are adequately prepared and informed. Now, let us take a closer look at how TechMaju should plan to evaluate the effectiveness of its crisis response strategy based on the 3 key performance indicators that we have grouped. We recommend that TechMaju actively monitor public sentiment and media coverage during and after a crisis to maintain transparency and rebuild trust. Using tools to track net sentiment score and media coverage quality will allow them to respond swiftly to misinformation or negative narratives. Post-crisis surveys measured through the Brand Trust Index should be conducted to gauge stakeholder confidence and inform future engagement strategies. TechMaju should aim to issue an initial public statement within 24 hours of a crisis to demonstrate responsibility and leadership. The response time KPI is crucial here. Equally important is maintaining high stakeholder engagement by ensuring that affected individuals receive timely, direct communication. Lastly, tracking the legal and compliance score will help the company stay ahead of regulatory risks and avoid long-term legal repercussions. To ensure sustainable recovery, TechMaju must also focus on retaining its customer base and restoring investor confidence. By monitoring customer retention and investor confidence index, it will highlight how effectively the company is bouncing back. Additionally, the cybersecurity enhancement score should reflect real improvements in system resilience with measurable upgrades made to prevent future accidents and reassure all stakeholders of the company's commitment to security. To close, TechMaju's crisis communication plan is designed not just as a reactive measure, but as a proactive strategy to restore public trust, demonstrate transparent leadership, and reaffirm its commitment to ethical AI and data protection. The plan emphasizes swift action, targeted stakeholder engagement, and the use of data-driven insights to minimize reputational damage. Critically, this is a CEO-led response, ensuring decisive leadership and public accountability. TechMaju coordinates closely across PR, legal, and media teams to to maintain message consistency while separating communications for direct victims from those intended for broader audiences like regulators and the media. By using AI-powered analytics to track crises in real time and assess public sentiment, TechMaju will not only resolve issues faster but also builds credibility. Importantly, this approach will reinforce the company's ethical AI stance, helping to restore the long-term confidence in technology. So with this comprehensive, value-driven approach, TechMaju positioned itself not just as a company managing in crisis, but as a responsible AI leader shaping the future of innovation in Southeast Asia.